Neopets was big since the 1999. It was around the late 90s. It started out as a website for people to log in and play with their pet. It was also big in the early 2000s, and the site is still there to this day. You could play on it as well. I haven't played on that site in years, but looking back on it, there were fun things to do on the site that involves playing with your Neopet, as well as battling, feeding, etc. It was a fun site, and it is still fun despite all the changes that the site went through because of the modern times to which is where we are now. The fairies were something that was a big part of Neopia. They were wise, know from right and wrong, as well as life lessons. But what many of you don't know is that there is a very deep and dark secret within the fairies that no one wants you to know. Most of them are nice, but there are a few dark fairies that are in Neopets as well. Illison, the Earth Fairy, has a secret that no one knows today, and that is how she became the Earth Fairy. She became an Earth Fairy by being born in the Glades. It is a deep secret that most would assume that she was born in Fairyland, but they were wrong about that. Jadora lives in her bluff, where she does her evil deeds inside the dark forest. She isn't as evil as the darkest fairy, known as the Betrayer, but she is still a dark fairy with evil intentions. Jadora, although evil, seems to be great friends with Illison. Some people would think that they are both lesbians, to which it could be hinted that they are. However, no one in the Neopets fandom knows about it to this day. It's just a theory, after all. There were other fairies in Neopia. There were too many to count them all. But most of them are secretly evil to the Neopets. You see, they give you quests and items to help you with everything you need. They don't want you to know what they really want. They want to see you struggle to complete your quests because they secretly like to see you suffer by trying to finish the quest by getting what they wanted. Fiora, who's the fairy queen, she is the queen of fairyland. She too has a dark secret that no one knows to this day. Fiora is the mind controlling of all the fairies. You may think it is the darkest fairy behind them. Well, you are wrong. Fiora wants to control all the fairies since she is a control freak and would manipulate the fairies to do her deeds, and the same could be said for the Neopets. She is the one to watch everything for herself. She wants to see more and more struggling and more people being manipulated by the other fairies. Now let us move on to the darkest fairy. She's got her own Neopets game back in 2005. That was the only game she ever gotten. Hadn't appeared much since. She was once Altidore's heroes, only to betray them with her dark magic. Only because she is selfish and power-hungry. She wanted to betray them, and she, of course, wanted to take over Neopia with her magic. Dark magic, in fact. She is also very manipulative towards those around her. Her dark fairy sisters were also powerful, but the darkest fairy is the most powerful out of all the dark fairies of Neopets. The dark fairy sisters, Malice, Spite, and Vanity, have dark names. Those names mean a lot of things. A deep, dark, and disturbing names which no one knows about to this day. What I'm about to tell you is about the dark fairy sisters. What will blow your mind with wonder. The name Malice, her name means desire to cause pain, injury, or distress to another. An attack motivated, but it also meant to intent to commit an unlawful act or cause harm without legal justification or excuse. That explains what Malice means and why her name is that. I know it may seem evil for a dark fairy, but it is true. Spite's name means to intentionally annoy, upset, or hurt someone. I know it is shocking, but it is the truth about another dark fairy of the dark fairy sisters. Then there's Vanity. Her name means to inflate pride in one's herself or one's appearance. But it also means that something is in vain, empty, or valueless. It is a dark truth behind these names of the Dark Fairy Sisters, but the truth is that no one will understand until they hear those names and see the Dark Fairy Sisters for themselves. In conclusion, all the fairies in Neopedia are mind-controlled by Fiora. She is secretly manipulating the fairies into giving you quests and stuff. Next time if you ever play on the Neopets sites, you may think twice before taking a quest from the fairies.